a health item. Ah! My head did roll. What is this? Zelda?
By the desk!
Lev! Oh, there were two of them. Look at my fucking health! Oh my god! What the fuck did she do that for? Why did she vault? And it was like, I dare you to find out. It was so dark, I could not. Ah, you stupid fucking mimic!
Sebastian, what are you doing here? I'm in the middle of some serious shit right now.
Clip this after it's over.
No way. Are you kidding?
I got it.
You know how long it took me to come back here and talk to you about this? You could have just called, you know. Are you coming with me or not? I told you I wasn't going to leave this place. It's fucking evil out there. That may be, but there's evil within, too. Whatever. I'll take my chances in here. See you around, Sebastian.
Okay, so it was a Kickstarter game like I thought. That's why there's so many extra games. Tons of M's too. Oh, you got me! You want to upgrade your stealth kill, and you want to upgrade your weapon swing. And then you get the beautiful Fred! What are you doing here, Fred?
Spread out! Find her, quick! Bullets up!
That motherfucker jumped out at the wrong time.
I don't see her. Find where she's hiding. I'll find you.
I didn't expect that. What is wrong with me? I'm gonna do it one more time. Right at his foot. Okay, we're good. Bo is happy now. The lights are off. They're leaving. No! I'm leaving! didn't jump over the barrel to get through the door.
Jesse's fine. No friendly fire. Jesse's fine. No friendly fire.
Hello, how we doing today? Hi, Sasuke. Hi, Sasuke. We also have a bowl ready. So, and I've got my clean torch in, finally. The little car lighter thing that means I can eliminate butane from my fucking routine. No more butane staying on my lungs. Coughing up extra shit. Yeah. Anyway, let's show you how it works. Standing up on my chair. Cheers. Oh wow. The resin stain it left on my lips was a different color than when I use a lighter. Already interesting results of the clean torch. Okay, I gotta adjust my music. I heard you, don't worry. Oh, not that. That. It's a new little thingy I put together for streaming. A little loopy loop. Ooh. Let me get my lipstick back on. It kind of reminds me of Silent Hill, actually. Oh god, hi Joy. Come on up. You can sit up here now. Come on. Up. If you want up, up. If you don't, move. Because I need to move the chair. Good Joy. Good Joy. Okay, cool. Yeah, you get that vibe? Okay, cool, 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 cool. Now let's do our dab because we can't start stream without a dab, but I can start loading the game without the dab. Is that on? Yep, okay. We've got reclaim. Let's see, let's see, let's see, let's see, let's see. What are you doing, Joy? Trust you? Like I do, but I don't. Oh, you're scratching. Okay, that's awesome. excuse me. And that thump is the wind making my blinds clank against my window. Sorry in advance. Excuse me. Alright, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Turn on the dab machine. Test the airflow. Get the dab. Got a little bit of a puddle going in there. That's our dab. It's fucked up in the dab machine. It's fucked up. Oh yeah? I'll have to find similar sounds to the Outlast noises. Cheers. Okay, I was about to say, did I break it by pausing immediately?
Haha, I'm beating you. Get off. Get off me. Stop. You have to tell me. Get off of me. Not unless you answer. No. Fine. Then you have to give up. If you say I win, I'll let you up. Okay. You have to say it. You win, okay? You're such a pushover, Blake.
Oh, excuse me. Okay. Let's walk as fast as we can.
I don't know why you have to be so precious about it.
Did Lynn ask you to ask me?
I asked first. So,
I don't know.
nerd,
Shut up.
you are.
She said to ask, didn't she?
Maybe. I don't know. I just wanted to know.
You're a nerd, too.
I know. You think your parents are home yet?
No, usually not until after dinner.
You think I could come over?
Yeah, sure. Why?
Why what?
Like, why do you want to come over?
I don't know.
What don't you know, Jessica?
Oh, sorry.
What are the two of you doing in here?
I'm sorry, Father Loudermilk.
We stayed after school for journal? We were just leaving.
Let's step back into class, please.
Blake?
You're not in trouble yet, Blake. You don't want to get in trouble, do you?
Just stay with me.
Excuse me.
I want you two to tell me what you were doing in here. Were you misbehaving? Do I need to call your parents? Jessica, do I need to call your father again?
No, please.
I only want us to be friends. Nobody's in trouble yet. Does one of you think you can make this right? Jessica? Jessica, look at me. Will you pray with me? Will you help me make this right? Why don't you go along home, Blake?
Don't go.
Did I interrupt something between you two?
It wasn't like that.
Then what did you want? You won't say? You know, shame is a gift from God to let you know right from wrong. And what you want is very wrong. Go home and pray.
Stay. I want you to stay.
Blake, please. This is awkward enough. Nothing's the matter, but I need you to leave us.
Don't.
Everything's okay. You can leave, young man. Walk away.
That was weird. Okay, come on. I know you went to gym. You can run faster than this.
Help me! Get away from me! Blake! Get away! Just leave me alone!
Stop!
I don't know what you think you saw.
Run. Oh, thank God my battery was I'm gonna go. I guess it's going to the light. It's fire. It's not real light. It's okay, Blake. It's okay. Okay.
Fuck! Fuck! Lynn! Lynn! You're pregnant. How are you pregnant?
Please. I don't want to die here. I don't want our baby to die here.
I won't let them kill you. We have to get out of here.
Yeah, a little faster, hon. This the way? Is this the way? I have another way. That's one for the light. I know we're heading toward the sun. Well, see the sun. What are you doing, Lynn? Lynn, stop getting stuck on stuff. Lynn.
What the fuck?
We have to find shelter.
As far from this place as we can get.
Yeah.
Oh.
I almost ran her right off the bridge. That gate is not open. Now I drop you. Drop you right on your back.
Down here! We have to get inside before the baby comes.
It's too dangerous. You can't.
We can't stay out here. Help me down, please, Blake.
Okay. Jesus. Be careful. Fuck! Fuck! Lynn! You okay? I'm coming down.
It hurts.
I'm sorry.
Joy, what are you doing? You're headbutting my... She's headbutting my legs. She's so cute.
I need to lie down.
Back here.
Oh. Okay. Okay. I just...
It's gonna be okay, baby. Oh, shit! Come on! Come on!
Shit, Marta. Let's go.
Oh, fuck! Jesus Christ, Blake! I think something's wrong!
You think something's wrong? I'm getting my nuts carved off.
Oh, fuck!
Oh my god, the steering on this car.
Jesus Christ, Blake! What the fuck? I think something's wrong! It hurts too much! I need to lie down! Shit! Blake!
God, give me voice. God, guide my hand. God, give me voice. God, guide my hand. God, give me voice.
Shit!
God, guide my hand. God, give me voice. God, guide my hand.
Fuck you. And fuck your god. Not your god. Her god.
Fuck you! And fuck your god!
Get wrecked by a cross. I always thought that shit was buried. And the wind would just like, you know, shove something on top of it. And you made it go through her.
Blake!
But, you
A
know.
path!
No, I'm paying attention. Oh god. Oh god. Classics.
It's getting worse!
Yeah,
take shelter! Keep moving.
Jesus!
Fuck! The storm's getting worse! Come on, Lynn! We have to get inside!
You gotta get inside. Ah, get inside. Excuse me.
Oh shit! Shit! Oh,
You need to lie down.
I can't do this!
You can do this.
Oh god! Something's wrong.
Nope,
Just
nope,
keep
nope,
breathing.
stop looking.
Feels like something's wrong.
Okay, I'm sorry. There's nothing we can do about that.
Ah! It hurts too much.
I know, baby, I know. But you can do this, okay?
All right,
Just keep
control the
breathing.
camera. Control the camera. I'm gonna keep it up as much as possible. Oh god!
Fuck! Ah!
I'm looking up at her face. I'm looking at you.
Oh god!
Keep breathing.
It's
Just
killing
push.
me! Ah!
Lynn!
That baby don't have a shadow.
There's nothing there.
Oh, poor V.
Oh,
Oh man. He said there's a reason I don't have kids, and this is one of them.
Lynn!
That baby don't got no shadow. Welcome in, V. Oh, you poor creature. You poor creature.
Lynn!
Come on, son! Come on! Ain't no side of sick!
Lynn!
I'm just laughing at V's horrified.
Ah!
Oh, the butane-free. Oh God. Been traumatized ever since. God damn. Were you here for the intro? I got my butane-free torch in. Baby. The baby. No, stop looking at the bloody baby. Stop. It's not even real.
So, Lynn said you haven't even kissed her yet.
What?
Like in Beauty and the Beast?
Oh, you mean drama?
Yeah.
The play.
Apparently there was a
We're
particular
saving for
material
the,
that wasn't
actual
that was
night.
that wasn't shipping in time.
We
you know,
are.
on time as
We, like,
anticipated, and so they
cheek
finally got
kiss.
it out, and it's here.
So, like,
And you can
is she your
actually
girl?
taste your weed with it. Like what? It doesn't taste like hot ash.
girlfriend? Tell me, or else.
I've tried it with THCA.
Or else what?
It tastes really sweet with THCA. And I tried it with regular weed. And I have a little Canagar right here. It's a little baby one because it
I
broke
got you again.
and broke. Oh God, enough. We're here.
That's the child, isn't it? My God. You're
Yeah.
taking care of my children. But yours... I'm powerless
Yeah, I
again.
smoked the other half of the broken
The
part.
child's too strong.
It used to be
Lord.
one. Now it is.
You've murdered paradise. God has gone silent. Since the storm, the birth. Who will he have if he destroys us all? Who will he have left punish. I killed my children.
Smoking them down.
All
bit
of
by
them.
bit, Yep.
Every last
Yep.
one.
Yep. Yep. And I have
There's
another
no
can of
more
Gatorade.
perfect faith than that.
Where'd I put that motherfucker?
And still,
Where'd I put that
God
motherfucker?
is silent.
I got vertical blindness. Where did I put it?
Kill that child if you can. If you love anything at all, crush its skull under your heel. I know God doesn't hear dead men,
But I suppose.
but I expect he answers them.
I like a Blake's just sitting there with this baby that he thinks is there. That they all think is there. And he's just like, okay. And just leaves. Well, first we were, let me respect Lynn a little. Get the fuck around the, oh my god. Will you at least, oh man. The music is good at the end of this game.
Try to find me. Over here.
The only reason this motherfucking game even has a background story that makes sense and ties it to the first game is because of some comics they released in between.
This way, Blake.
Look, I've got a bone to pick with Red Barrel. I'm so mad at them. I'll talk to you about it on Halloween though. I got the good ending. She doesn't have a hang mark on her neck.
I'll never let you go. You never let me go. Now the light has gone away. Savior, listen while I pray, begging thee to watch and keep, and send me quietly to sleep.
Yeah, it is
Watchful
weird that they did
Savior,
that. That was
wash
a really,
away
really weird
all
choice
I've been
to
wrong
make
today.
when it comes to storytelling.
Help me every
Via
day to
video
be
games
gentle,
and
gentle,
comics.
more like thee.
Yes! Got an achievement! Got an achievement! Got an achievement! Okay. So, we're gonna go find a video explaining what the fuck happened with this game. And I don't know what we're gonna do for the rest of the stream. We might boot up Outlast. No, we're gonna start practicing those runs tomorrow. But we will for sure watch a dissection of this game. Okay. Noops. Nope. I played the wrong source. Oh, I got new music again, Vet. You know what's cool about this music, though? You know what was real cool? Was real cool? Was real cool? I put it together. What? Let's find an explanation video for that stupid ass game. Outlast II Explained. Thank you. It's just a basic loop that I'm gonna use as like the background for all my seasonal stuff, because it's very Silent Hill-y, so kind of horror-esque. Hey gaming, how you doing? We are going to find a video. YouTube. Outlast II Explained.
Hell out of here, bro.
Oh no. Foxy, huh?
1 a.m. Come on, 2 a.m. Let's go.
Oh yeah, that's about when Foxy hits.
Gaming Squad. Bro, fuck.
You got scared by your gaming squad notification? That's funny. Oh, Foxy's getting ready.
No, you guys could do it. There's.
Oh, okay. I'm good. Can't really, same as Ben, can't complain. I'm glad you're doing good too. Let's see. Oh, Gaming Harry. He does okay with his story explained, but let's see if we've got a better layout. The entire Outlast story so far. That is from Gaming Harry. I should do it from this one because. Okay. FNAF some BS. Okay, cool. Alright, we are going to. Oh, let me change to just chatting. Outlast II. There we go. Only good part about FNAF is when you complete it. That's funny. Alright, let's check the volume on this guy. Show stuff. Oh, big to you too. Jesus. That was rude. Are you prepared for an episode of Law and Order?
Welcome to, well,
Way too low. I can turn you down a spell too. Woo, live editing.
probably the longest and most comprehensive video I've done yet. This is going to be the most ambitious project on the channel so far. We're going to look into the full timeline of this epic series of games, which includes Outlast 1, Whistleblower, Outlast 2, and we are going to fill in the gaps by looking at the Murkoff Account Comics 2. I will begin this plot as one long piece encompassing the entire video, but there will be chapters indicating when we've broken from the plot to discuss certain characters. I feel this is the best model for explaining a game series in such detail. Strap in, grab a drink, and let's crack on and do this.
I've got this most pathetic little Kennegar because mine broke in half earlier. Let's see if I can get it lit.
Waylon Park, a married man with 2 kids, who is a freelance software consultant, sits in an empty server room located in an underground facility beneath the Mount Massive Asylum for the criminally insane, and he seems very nervous. He is actually in the process of sending a whistleblowing email to an investigative journalist named Miles Upshur. Waylon is concerned that his employers, the transnational company named the Murkoff Corporation, are involved in illegal and inhumane activities. He has overheard doctors talking about dream therapy going too deep. Waylon tells Miles that this needs to be exposed. Waylon's job was to maintain Murkoff's magnum opus, a creation called the Morphogenic Engine. This engine allowed patients to enter lengthy and very lucid dream states. An entity would come to be birthed out of this machine, an entity called the Walrider. This is what the experiments are centered around, and their research is aptly named Project Walrider. The Walrider is essentially a swarm of tiny nanomachines controlled by a subject who are themselves under the control of the morphogenic engine. A note here states that the Walrider itself is also referred to as ALP, Mara.
Oh wow, this really adds some, like, atmosphere to it. Let me turn it down a little though. You see, like, you're too busy running around in Outlast to really stop and read the notes and shit, you know? Especially number 2, when the game doesn't pause when you read the notes.
Or Schrat, a demonic creature of German origin. Some researchers believe there was a supernatural element behind the Walrider, and that it was a manifestation of this creature. Anyway, back into the story. Waylon is interrupted as he is needed at the morphogenic engine. He just about manages to hit send on the email and makes his way to control room. Waylon, after fixing one of the cameras in the pod which holds the subject, is startled by an inmate named Eddie Gluskin. Gluskin is being put into the morphogenic engine so Murkoff can see if he is compatible, and therefore able to control the Walrider through his dream state. If he's not compatible, then he will suffer disfigurement and lesions. Such is the brutal nature of the engine. We can see that Gluskin isn't compatible as these lesions and scarring start to show up straight away. Waylon makes his way back to the server room, and waiting for him is Jeremy Blair. He's Waylon's boss and is the VP for Global Development at Murkoff. He also runs Mount Massive Asylum, and in addition to that, he oversees Project Walrider 2. Blair has found Waylon's email and has several security guards attack Waylon and detain him as an inmate of Mount Massive Asylum. He makes up an elaborate lie stating that Waylon resigned due to mental illness. But why were they so concerned so as to go to the trouble of doing this? You see, Murkoff have a long, detailed history of criminal, unethical, and immoral practices. Here's a short history. In 1938, Murkoff were exposed for selling diphosphine gas to German forces. This was for the German forces to use it as a poison gas in artillery shells during World War I. This gas was so potent that it would destroy regular gas mask filters. Murkoff also had a hand in conducting group experiments for the CIA program named MKUltra, a top-secret mind control experiment which focused on using drugs and other procedures for the end goal of mind control and interrogation purposes. These experiments were being carried out at Mount Massive, amongst other places. Murkoff would put unwilling individuals through trials of sorts during the Cold War, but in the late 60s, Mount Massive is shut down due to some scientists being murdered by an inmate. A few years later, under the orders of CIA Director Richard Helms, all MKUltra files are destroyed, basically burying Murkoff's involvement in MKUltra. And then years later, in 2009, Mount Massive was reopened under the guise of a charitable organisation named Murkoff Psychiatric Care, and over the next few years, Murkoff continued their experiments in secret, and with a steady stream of inmates at their disposal, Murkoff stood to rake in great profits. This leads us back to the present day. Waylon comes round later on, and he is being subjected to morphogenic therapy, a form of psychological torture. The man subjecting him to the torture is called away, as it's revealed that an inmate named Billy Hope has managed what is referred to as lateral ascension with the project. Basically, it means that he's compatible with the engine and is able to control the Walrider, which in turn has a significant impact on what comes next. Waylon gets free from his restraints and sees the Walrider attacking inmates. The entire facility shuts down and all hell breaks loose due to the Walrider breaking loose. Picking up a camcorder with the aim of capturing everything on film in order to try and take down Murkoff, Waylon escapes his cell. However, it is not long before he comes face to face with the Walrider himself, who tries to attack him, but Waylon escapes and runs into a number of deformed inmates. These inmates with significant deformities are called variants. They're the ones who have been subjected to the effects of the morphogenic engine, but were basically incompatible. Rejects, if you like. He overhears a guard and an employee talking about a radio in the prison which will allow them to call for help. Waylon decides that he needs to get to that radio. As Waylon continues on, he finds that some variants are calm and just want to be left alone, but some are hostile towards him. Very hostile and extremely disturbed. Which brings us on to Frank Maniera. Frank is a cannibal. A wiry man, he is described as having lost 73 pounds in weight after he was subjected to the morphogenic engine. Nothing is really known about his background, but I'm guessing it has something to do with his cannibalistic quirks. Anyway, Waylon walks through a kitchen and is shocked to witness Frank having his dinner.
Yeah, the twins are variants too. Wow, I really like the addition of my music to the video. Pretty clean. Sorry. But yes, they're all variants. Every single one of them.
So to speak, and after sneaking around him and also after a chase, Waylon gets to relative safety, but this is only for a moment as Frank bursts through the door. He shoves Waylon into a furnace, but again, Waylon manages to get free, eventually escaping and seeing the back of Frank for good. However, Waylon has to get through a foggy courtyard. Waylon is forced to find an alternate way into a building after encountering a couple of inmates known only as the Twins. Waylon eventually makes it to the radio, but he is ambushed by Jeremy Blair, who proceeds to smash up the radio.
Oh, I'm so sensitive to nose injuries in games, movies, shows, etc. I feel it ever since I took an elbow to the nose in 2011. It was Christmas morning too, it was bullshit.
And attacks Waylon. Out of nowhere, a
It wasn't a fight, it was an accident.
terrifying growl belonging to a huge variant inmate named Chris Walker.
Music definitely adds.
Let's pause really quick and talk about Chris Walker and how he ended up at Mount Massive. Years ago, Chris started out his career as a military policeman in the US Army. Toured Afghanistan, but like many military personnel on those tours, he developed PTSD. Upon his return home to the United States, he was committed to Spindletop Psychotherapy Clinic in Hatton, Texas.
It was Christmas gaming. Of course I remember when I got the people's elbow to the fucking face.
The clinic was owned by none other than the Murkoff Corporation as part of their Research Through Charity initiative. He was subjected to therapy by a Dr. Claymore, who used Arabic culture in his therapy in order for them to try and overcome their trauma. This backfired, as they all seemed to suffer delusions of an Akkadian demigod named Apkallu. Problem is, the therapy these veterans were subjected to actually had a negative effect in that their psychological wounds would close at first, but then they would reopen even wider. Chris was one of the ones subjected to this therapy. Either way, Chris would get better and start working for Murkoff as a surveillance officer, overlooking therapy sessions. Due to his size and strength, he was nicknamed Strong Fat by colleagues, a nickname which he didn't really like at all. At some point, Chris witnessed inmates in a trance during a therapy session, and they mentioned Apkallu, and something triggered inside Chris, and he snapped, killing 3 inmates. But he didn't just kill them, he literally tore them limb from limb. Due to Murkoff owning the clinic and not wanting the authorities to know what happened, they sent their litigation, or their legal team, to speak with Dr. Claymore, a pair of Murkoff litigation agents named Paul Marion and Pauline Glick, aptly nicknamed the Pauls. They tried to speak to Claymore, but as he wasn't working directly for Murkoff, he wouldn't really give them any information. Looking for a way around it, they question Chris, assuming him to just be an employee, and he misleads them. What the Pauls don't know, though, is that after their meeting with Dr. Claymore, Chris ends up murdering Dr. Claymore too, then he destroyed the CCTV equipment and fled. Realizing that Chris is responsible for the murders, the Pauls went to Chris's home. The Pauls found the victims' heads in boxes, and these murders were dubbed the Hatbox Murders. They find a stuffed animal from his childhood, a pig. Chris arrived carrying the head of Dr. Claymore in a box and saw the agents holding his stuffed animal. He went crazy and a fight broke out. Chris was shot in the face by Pauline, but even that didn't stop him. He threw Pauline out of the window. In the end, she had to take him down by driving straight at him in her car, finally knocking him out. Careful not to draw blame, as Chris was a Murkoff employee, they deflected it and pinned the blame on another patient named Omar Abdul Malik. Due to them trying to cover up what happened with Chris Walker, they committed him to Mount Massive and experimented on him. Now, due to the state of his mind, Chris tore the skin from his forehead. This was due to the belief that he had a third eye which would help him see things more clearly. He also tore the skin from his lips and his nose due to having developed a hatred for the damage the morphogenic engine experiments had done to his face. He would be restrained in response to the self-harming, which explains why he has chains on his wrists. Anyway, that is the backstory of Chris Walker, so let's get back into the story. Chris chases Waylon into a tool shed, but on the way, Waylon sees a man known as Father Martin Archibald painting a message onto the wall in blood. Father is said in quotation marks as he isn't a real priest.
I know.
Father Martin, likely in his 60s, is an inmate of Mount Massive Asylum who suffers from dementia, delusions, and schizoaffective disorder. His symptoms ease when participating in the asylum's art therapy program, or more specifically, finger painting. His therapist, Dr. Neil Wolfram, said that he had made great strides, but he was dismayed to find out that Murkoff were pulling the program. As Dr. Wolfram expected and feared, Archibald's symptoms worsened and he regressed, suffering from delusions of a higher calling. Basically, he worshipped the Wall Rider and he saw himself as a prophet of sorts. Waylon moves on and ends up in the vocational block, and after evading yet more variants, Waylon comes face to face with Eddie Gluskin, the test subject from before. He's now noticeably scarred from the effects of the morphogenic engine. Waylon jumps down an elevator shaft while escaping Gluskin and hurts his leg. Previous variant referenced Gluskin as the Groom, and we're about to find out why. Gluskin mutilates male inmates, removing their, parts, and tries to make them into a bride before...
That's probably true, Vent. He's like, Wall Rider, I believe in you. Don't kill me.
killing them. Gluskin's backstory, although slightly vague in its detail, is actually kind of sad. He was abused by his father and uncle as a kid, who would take pictures of the abuse. Apparently Gluskin didn't know it was wrong, but only knew that it hurt him. This unresolved trauma led to Gluskin becoming a serial killer who targeted women, who was eventually incarcerated in Mount Massive Asylum. Anyway, Gluskin captures Waylon after he tried to hide in a locker and drags him to his workshop and sprays a substance into the locker, making him pass out. After receiving Waylon Park's whistleblowing email, Miles Upshur now arrives at Mount Massive Asylum with his camcorder in hand, ready to capture evidence of what is going on there. Miles is already aware of the history of Mount Massive and the controversies surrounding the Murkoff Corporation. You see, from looking at the beta version of the whistleblower email in an unused cutscene, Miles was an investigative reporter who got fired from his previous job for posting sensitive information about the Afghanistan conflict. Since then, Miles has been freelance and self-employed. Miles enters the asylum through a window. Given that the riot and the variant uprising happened only a few hours earlier, the place is a mess.
Yeah.
Miles finds the leader of a security team called Murkoff Hardline Security impaled on a
Yeah, he still showed up.
pike. He has just enough breath to attempt to get out as the variants have escaped. Miles meets Chris Walker, who throws him out of a window, making him pass out. Interestingly, Chris repeats the same phrase as when he saw the Pauls holding his toy. Little pig. Miles comes to and Father Martin is standing over him and calls Miles an apostle. Father Martin has locked the main doors for the exit, but Father Martin has turned off the power, meaning that Miles has to go down to the basement and turn it back on again. He makes it back to the control room, but Father Martin injects him with a sedative. Turning Miles' attention to the monitors, Father Martin tells him that he has so much yet to witness and makes him watch the Wall Rider going ham and tearing into and decimating an entire squad of Murkoff Hardline security staff. Miles passes out once again and Father Martin puts him in a padded cell somewhere deep in the asylum. This is actually Father Martin's own cell, indicated by the rest in peace and crosses written on the walls.
Oh god.
Miles meets the unmistakable twins, the cannibals who briefly discuss which part of Miles they want to eat first, until they reveal that Father Martin has asked them not to touch him. It seems that Father Martin has a lot of influence over the variants. Miles escapes the cell block and after more meetings with Chris Walker in the sewers, he manages to make it to the male ward where he's chased by some inmates.
Dr. Traeger.
A friendly voice tells him to get into the dumbwaiter,
Doctor.
but, well, Miles discovers that this person isn't really very friendly at all.
He's not a doctor.
Meet Dr. Richard Traeger.
He's not a doctor. He's a doctor.
Way back when, Dr. Richard Traeger was a Murkoff executive. He was a well-dressed man with medium-length hair, but how did he end up as what seems to be a heavily scarred inmate and, what's more, a failed experiment of the morphogenic engine? Well, Traeger was the head of business development at the asylum. He was good friends with Jeremy Blair, indicated by this note which states that they played golf together. Traeger at some point sexually assaulted another Murkoff employee named Michelle Haas, and Michelle became pregnant. She complained anonymously to the HR department about it, and along came the hotshot litigation duo, Pauline Glick and Paul Marion. They go and speak to Traeger to find out which department the allegations came from, and he naturally puts on a front,
Yeah, he did.
smiling, joking around with them, and telling them they should be on Team Rick. He debunks the claims and insists they didn't come from his department. Marion thinks he's dirty, so Glick arranges to meet him for a dinner. When back at his house, Traeger offers Glick a line of cocaine, which she refuses. Traeger then proceeds to spike her drink with Rohypnol, but she notices and she forces him to drink it, making him pass out. The Pauls eventually confront Michelle Haas about the assault, and she confesses to them that Traeger did it and got her pregnant. Traeger then forced her to either get an abortion or he would fire her. Paul Marion prepared a severance package in true litigation style. In exchange, Michelle would stay silent about it. Michelle took the deal, but Traeger stormed into the room. Grabbing scissors, he stabbed Michelle in the stomach multiple times. Don't worry, Michelle wasn't actually pregnant, but we'll get to that later on in the video. Glick grabbed Traeger by the neck and his hair got trapped in a paper shredder, tearing off part of his scalp, which is why he looks like an aged monk. Traeger was taken as an inmate of the asylum and used as a test subject for the engine. Jeremy Blair, despite being Traeger's friend, seemed to really enjoy this. So Traeger became a surgeon during the incident, sadistically cutting up staff members and operating on people. This extends to Miles as he hits him, disorienting him, and proceeds to wheel him to a room where he talks of how much he dislikes Father Martin. Traeger cuts off Miles' fingers and leaves the room. Miles regains his composure and his fingers and manages to sneak around Traeger and grab a key for the elevator and make himself some Traeger juice. Miles sees the exit. Freedom. Well, not really. Miles has to cross the pitch black courtyard and comes face to face with the Wall Rider, which bizarrely chooses not to attack him. It's not long before Miles is chased by Chris Walker again, but he manages to make it to the female ward. And after losing his video camera after a fall, Miles goes to retrieve it and manages to make it to the upper floors. He enters a sort of movie theatre which plays an exit interview for Dr. Rudolf Wernicke, the madman behind the morphogenic engine. He states in this interview that the engine attaches to insanity, that only someone who has witnessed enough horror and torment is capable of activating the engine. The interviewer asks if there's an element of the supernatural behind the Wolf Rider, and Wernicke replies that there is not. Dr. Wernicke dies shortly after this interview. Apparently, his death certificate is here. The truth of the matter, however, is that Dr. Wernicke is very much alive, but hang tight, we'll discuss him shortly. Miles gets to the chapel and sees Father Martin has set himself on fire on a cross, such as his commitment and dedication to the Wall Rider. Miles takes an elevator down to the depths of the asylum where he discovers a series of tunnels. It's clear that the Wall Rider has had a pretty good time down here as Miles finds corpses everywhere. He eventually gets chased by the Wall Rider himself, but runs straight into Chris Walker, whose life is prematurely ended by the Wall Rider, who slams him straight into a steel grate.
I feel like this is
A door is opened and inside a sealed off room sits a fragile and very old Dr. Wernicke. Right, so as promised, let's discuss Wernicke. Dr. Rudolf Wernicke was born in Germany in 1918. He collaborated with Alan Turing on a paper, and this brought Wernicke great success and renown in the scientific community. He helped Nazi Germany at some point during the war effort, but he was brought to the US under Operation Paperclip, an operation which would see prominent German or Austrian scientists, or skilled people in general, come to the US in an attempt to take those assets away from potential enemies. He worked in Los Alamos, which, as we know, is where lots of government work took place. Truth of the matter is that Wernicke was likely carrying out research as part of MK Ultra, conducting mind control experiments on subjects during the Cold War. This is where I believe the Outlast trials were conducted, but we'll find out more about that when the next game finally releases. He went on to retire and spend his time in New Mexico, where he pursued photography. He wasn't married and didn't have children, and eventually came out of retirement and chose to pursue charitable work for Murkoff at Mount Massive Asylum. But this was all a guise for Wernicke to install his morphogenic engine in the bowels of the asylum and subject the inmates of Mount Massive to horrific experiments. To keep his involvement secret and confine him to the asylum to continue his work, Wernicke was pronounced dead and the death certificate was fabricated by Murkoff. He was brought in order to study human nanotechnology. Wernicke and his team managed to eventually produce specific molecules in order to create the entity known as the Wall Rider. Wernicke mentions to Miles that a patient named Billy Hope was what's known as a lucid dreamer, where he is able to control what happens in his dream state. That, coupled with the horrors, trauma and madness he's experienced in his life, made him a perfect fit for the engine. Billy was able to control the Wall Rider. Billy, in some sick, twisted way, views Wernicke as his father and chooses to keep Wernicke alive. But Wernicke mentions his regret and that they were foolish to think they could master such a powerful creation. He insists that Billy must die and instructs Miles to turn off his life support, as this will destroy the Wall Rider. Miles eventually sees Billy, all hooked up to the machine, basically dead, hanging on by a thread, only being kept alive by the engine. Miles turns off the life support but is viciously attacked by the Wall Rider, which doesn't fully kill him. Miles hobbles out with his video evidence of what went on, but is greeted by a squad of Murkoff security forces and Wernicke. Thinking that the Walrider is now dead and likely seeing the camera in his hand and knowing that Miles is a witness to the atrocities of the asylum, Miles is gunned down. He is killed. But in one twist in the tale, Wernicke realizes that Miles has been possessed by the Walrider, and Miles attacks and mauls the security team, killing them all, presumably killing Wernicke too.
You have become the host.
In the meantime, Waylon wakes up from his slumber and finds Gluskin, well, doing Gluskin things. He is saved by an inmate in the nick of time and attempts to get out using a key. He can't move very fast due to his injured leg, and Gluskin inevitably catches up to him, attempting to hang him up in the rafters just like the countless other victims. But this backfires. Gluskin loses control of the rope and gets impaled on a spike. Good riddance. Waylon makes his way to the exit and sees the burning chapel in the background and the very dead Traeger by the elevators. He sees none other than Jeremy Blair waiting by the door, heavily injured, but with just enough strength to stab Waylon in the stomach. Walrider Miles shows up, however, like the hero he is, and literally tears Jeremy to shreds. Also, good riddance. Waylon makes it to Miles' jeep and sees Miles' body engulfed by the nano swarm of the Walrider, which bizarrely seems to help Waylon by pushing the jeep through the gates. Obviously, there's still some part of Miles in there that wants the truth to get out. Waylon eventually meets up with a man named Simon Peacock, an ex-Murkoff employee who Murkoff consider dangerous, as he himself leaked sensitive material from the company. Peacock was also experimented on at Murkoff, and as a result developed some supernatural abilities of his own. He founded the site Viraleaks. He's kind of a nod to Julian Assange, where Waylon will be uploading all the evidence to. Peacock tells Waylon that if he uploads the file containing the evidence, he'll be running from Murkoff for the rest of his life. Waylon uploads the file anyway. Simon dies at some point, but not completely. We'll find out more later on. In the aftermath, the Pauls arrive at Mount Massive to assess the damage and the cleanup job needed in order to stop this getting out. The Pauls walk in and see pieces of Jeremy Blair everywhere. Paul Marion finds that all the video drives were wiped, likely by Jeremy Blair. Pauline Glick seems to be happy about this, as it means, as she puts it, an easier cleanup. Now this is where it gets slightly crazy. Whilst they are investigating the discovery of Miles' Jeep, the Pauls get a report of Miles Upsher's bank account being accessed from a cell tower 80 miles from Mount Massive. This report would lead them to the most sensitive patient at Mount Massive Asylum, 80 miles away from there. It's Billy Hope. You see, even though Billy was killed by Miles, the Walrider still possessed some part of Billy within it. Billy went home to see his mother Tiffany. The Walrider, being a collection of nanites, allowed Billy to appear to his mother as human in some way. Naturally, the Pauls arrive not long afterwards and question Tiffany. They ask her if she knows Miles Upsher, but she says she doesn't. Pauline makes mentions of the fact that Tiffany never once visited her son at Mount Massive, and she replies that it wasn't allowed, that it would be bad for his treatment. The truth is actually a lot worse. You see, a note in the game states that Murkoff gave Tiffany a substantial amount of money. Essentially, she sold her son to Murkoff, and Murkoff told Billy that his mother had a heart attack. Anyway, the Pauls ask her how she got the money to buy some Swarovski figurines, and she kicks them out. Paul Marion looks back and sees something on top of the trailer, but can't make it out, and they leave. But they leave a Murkoff officer there to stake out Tiffany's home. Whilst the agent was staking out the place, the Pauls decided to go on the offensive. They smeared Waylon Park's name. They essentially painted him as a weirdo, a conspiracy theorist, and someone who was perverted, racist, and delusional. Pauline receives a call from the agent. It seems that Tiffany's boyfriend has arrived at the trailer.
Because, you know, the whole Murkoff, Mobius, I bet they're linked somehow. Oh my god.
He accuses her of seeing another man, and after an argument, he hits her and goes back to his car. He drives away, but is torn apart by Billy the Walrider. Seeing a crash, the agent goes to check it out, and, well, it doesn't really go well for him either. He tells Pauline it's the Walrider and gets absolutely decimated. Billy appears to his mother and smashes all of her expensive statues, telling her he will take care of her. Murkoff then pulled out all the stops in order to contain the Walrider. The Pauls approach Tiffany. Turns out the story of Billy Hope is even worse than imagined. Pauline reveals that Billy Hope was never mentally ill. He was just a lucid dreamer. She sold her son to Murkoff so she could buy a few crystal figurines. Out of nowhere, Billy tears his mother to shreds knowing this, and the Pauls escape the trailer. They think they've killed it, but it turns out that the Walrider has now just possessed a colony of ants. It's basically switched hosts.
What the fuck? A colony of ants? Come on, Red Barrel.
With that seemingly settled, the Pauls go on to investigate the residents of Wayland Park. To the Pauls' abject disappointment, the house had been burnt down. Paul Marion sees a homeless man there, but thinks absolutely nothing of it. Afterwards, they arrive in DC at Miles Upshur's residence. Bizarrely, his neighbour says that she saw him there the night before, but she says it's weird as her dogs wouldn't stop barking at him and they usually love him. They both note that the place is swarming with none other than ants. Both of the Pauls strip off outside to get rid of the ants, but Paul Marion spots the same homeless man from in Colorado and chases him. The man turns around and it's none other than Simon Peacock. He asks Paul Marion what his name is, but he doesn't give it to him. Peacock tells Marion that he seems to have something other Murkoff employees don't. Shame. Marion knows what he's doing is wrong, the only thing is he has no choice. Let's discover why. You see, Paul Marion lost his wife to an illness, and his 15-year-old daughter Alice has that same illness. Marion took a job with Murkoff because they have an experimental treatment for this rare disease. You see, Alice needs gene therapy transfusions, which, under Marion's Murkoff employee benefits, will save him $65,000 in medical bills, leaving him with only $3,000 to pay himself. Anyways, Peacock tells Marion that Mount Massive was just a pebble in a pond, an experiment on individuals. He points to some coordinates and tells him that is where the real sickness spreads. He tells Marion that he needs somebody inside Murkoff to help him. Peacock shoves a block of styrofoam into Marion's mouth and takes an impression of his teeth so he can find out his identity. Glick turns up and shoots Peacock multiple times, but strangely it doesn't affect him. Remember I mentioned there was something supernatural about Simon Peacock? Well, here it is. Simon Peacock is dead. Likely sometime after the Wayland Park leak, but we don't know how or when. Peacock gets away and the Pauls have Miles' house fumigated to kill the ants. But all that's left is black powder, and no evidence that could lead them to Peacock, Park, or Miles Upshur. The trail was dead, the ants had basically chewed everything to mush. Glick seems happy though, nothing can trace anything back to Mount Massive. Marion shows Glick the coordinates Peacock gave him, but she says to leave it. The coordinates themselves lead to the Havasupai Reservation, 80 miles northwest of Flagstaff in Arizona.
Oh, Flagstaff, not Tempe, my bad.
Near to those coordinates, a young pregnant woman and a man seem to be running away from something. The man states that every step they take, the less power he has got. Back at Paul Marion's house, Alice sees a man messing with the mailbox. It's Simon Peacock. Marion confronts him, but he runs off. Peacock left the same coordinates again, but this time stated that Alice, his daughter, is connected somehow. Marion flies to Arizona despite Glick telling him not to.
He's not really he doesn't care about the details when he's putting out the final product. He gets most everything right, but there are some little things, like the names and I was watching a video with one of my friends once, and I was like, no, that's not what it meant. I saw an article from the devs, you know.
It's an SUV and drives out to the coordinates, and all of a sudden a bright light appears along with a deafening sound, and Marion is somehow back in hospital the night his wife died. All of a sudden he snaps out of whatever trance he was in as he has been attacked by the man and woman who were escaping before. A fight breaks out and the man stabs Marion in the arm, so Marion kills the guy, and the pregnant girl runs off. Marion keeps seeing visions of his dead wife, but is eventually picked up by a family who take him to the hospital. Glick turns up. She obviously knows about the coordinates and what's going on there. She tells Marion that the pregnant girl is at the same hospital as them. Scans reveal lesions on the girl's brain, similar to the ones on inmates' brains in Mount Massive. They nicknamed this girl Jane Doe, as they didn't know who on earth she was. Marion notices a tattoo on the girl's chest which references Ezekiel. All of a sudden, she starts babbling and begins fitting. Glick tells Marion to go get the doctor, and while she is gone, she kills the young girl. They leave, and Marion has no idea that Glick killed the girl, he just assumes that she died due to a fit. Later that evening, Marion returns home. His daughter is gone, and one of her fingers lays on the floor.
He got it wrong in the beginning when he had the little chart up here. It said Allison. I'm so confused. But he does get details wrong, and it annoys me.
The message is written on the wall, which states, "You work for us now." Glick stayed in Arizona to find the body that Marion left in the desert. It was gone, and a chilling reveal tells us that the body was taken by someone.
I have Reese's. What's Reese's?
Over the next week or so, a local reporter named Lynn Langerman and her cameraman and husband Blake go to the hospital to investigate the death and apparent suicide of the pregnant Jane Doe. Paul Marion was meant to prevent them both from snooping around, but he failed. There's a reason why, but we'll get to it. Because not long after, Lynn and Blake charter a helicopter to fly them out to the Sonoran Desert in Arizona. Blake and Lynn are childhood sweethearts who went to Catholic school St. Sybil together. Blake is on the helicopter and has fallen asleep. He has a dream in which a young girl is calling out his name, and he wakes up. Lynn, his wife, seems pretty peeved as Blake was calling out another woman's name in his sleep. He reveals that he was dreaming about a girl called Jessica Gray, a close friend of them both, who they haven't thought of or spoken of for years. They are filming their intro, and all of a sudden, the same bright white light and deafening noise which Paul Marion saw downs the helicopter, sending them crashing down into the mountains, miles from anywhere. Blake comes to after being thrown from the helicopter, only to find that Lynn and the pilot are gone. He soon finds the pilot, but he's not really in a talking mood at all. He's been skinned and hung up on a tree. Blake descends into the mountain and sees a clock tower in the distance, indicating that there must be a town there, so he aims to get there to find help. He sees a bunch of armed people near some houses who disappear into the trees, and eventually encounters a tall woman who tries to kill him. It appears that both Blake and Lynn are in grave danger. This village appears to be inhabited by some murderous cult. Blake must find Lynn, and they need to escape, fast. As he approaches the church, Blake is again stunned by the loud sound and the flash of bright light, and as he approaches the church he hears a man preaching, and he mentions Lynn's name. This man is Sullivan Noth, or Papa Noth as he's known to his followers. Let's take a break and look at the cult and how they actually arrived in this place. You see, Noth used to be a shoe salesman in Albuquerque, New Mexico. He was a man who was heavily in debt, was about to lose his house, and one day he turned to a local evangelical radio station which was discussing faith. He heard a preacher on there and found himself disagreeing with the sin regarding extramarital sex and fornication. Before long, Noth would give up the enviable dream of being a shoe salesman and would start preaching himself. He claimed to hear a message hidden in the static of the radio station which told him that God was unhappy with the churches in the world and that God needs a brave new prophet to carry his message. He preached on the streets, and to be fair to him, he had the charisma to drum up numerous followers who would become loyal to him, donating money and possessions. A rich lady called Lydia Dagan allowed the cult to live on her ranch. He came up with a name for his cult, and he called it the Testament of the New Ezekiel, with Noth referring to himself as the modern-day Ezekiel, and wrote the Gospel of Noth. It was at this point that the cult became more fanatical. Noth would encourage the women of the cult to breed regularly, and Noth, of course, partook in this himself. Noth decided that he wanted to deliver every child himself too. Trouble was coming though, as due to the excessive home births, the police got wind of this and raided the ranch due to safety concerns. Lo and behold, dead bodies were found on the estate. Many followers were arrested, but what's left of them, including Noth, ended up journeying to hide in the mountains. Noth then took inspiration from Moses and Abraham and climbed to the top of a mountain, naked, because, well, why not? And he claimed to have received a message from God, who told him to slit open his eyeball. As a result, he saw a vision of his future church. Given that they had lost everything, they decided it was time to seclude themselves and build up again from scratch. In 1971, they eventually found somewhere to settle and build their village, but just one problem. The area was inhabited by tribes, namely the Pueblos, Jicarilla, Mescalero, and Navajo tribes. They did what any murderous cult would do and fought them off the land, taking it for themselves. The town was named Temple Gate, and the purpose of it was for his devoted following of morons to wait there for the end times. The messages Noth hears get more disturbing as time goes on and are essentially the catalyst for the cult being as messed up as it is. These are that the Antichrist will be born out of his own flock, killing children is okay, incest is okay, providing the mother of the child is dead, and Noth can sleep with whomever he wishes. Followers would get more and more deranged as time went on too, regularly sacrificing their own children to Noth's vision of the Antichrist being birthed. Anyway, jumping back into the story, it isn't long before Blake finds Lynn. She escapes out of an upstairs window of the church and Blake and her reunite, but she complains of stomach pains. Blake hears them talking about Lynn being pregnant, but she denies it. Her and Blake haven't had sex in months, so it can't possibly be true. They continue down a path to try and escape. They are cornered by a couple of cultists though, who intend to kidnap Lynn again and, I'm assuming, kill Blake. Before they can do that though, a new group covered in dirt and twigs show up and kill the cultists. One of them sits on Blake to stop him escaping or helping Lynn, and their apparent leader, a person with blonde hair, comes over to him and licks his face. They hit Blake over the head, dizzying him, and they kidnap Lynn and drag her away. What on earth is going on here? Well, it turns out that by one massive stroke of bad luck, Lynn and Blake, well, mainly Lynn, has now become a pawn in a violent and bloody war between two sides, the cultists and the heretics. Let's discuss the heretics briefly and then we'll jump back in. Led by the unmistakable Val, the heretics are a satanic group at war with Noth's cult. Val was actually a member of the cult but decided to leave after being consumed with lustful dreams of killing. We find a note from Val's journal where Val feels the dreams are a message, but the message is nothing holy. Val arranged to meet with other cultists who had similar dreams to them. These meetings caused the cult of Noth to be split in two, and they went to live in the nearby mines. The members, after living in and around the mines for so long, had basically gone so insane to the point of now being like animals, covering themselves in mud and sticks and moving around like marsupials, and their language appeared to be broken English. Their main goal was the polar opposite to Noth's. They wanted the Antichrist to be birthed.
Some random Arizona
This was all
backwoods fucking holy war.
Born out of Val's desire for chaos and destruction, and Val felt that the birth would bring out exactly that. The heretics and the cult, given that they have such differing views, are embroiled in an all-out war. With their assumptions that Lynn is pregnant, this gives them their motive for kidnapping Lynn. But yeah, let's jump back in. Blake stumbles down the path and, seeing double, is discovered by a man named Ethan, who takes Blake to his cabin and offers him a place to sleep in order to recharge his energy. Ethan's story is a very sad one. Due to Noth's messed up rule that he got to sleep with anyone he wishes, Ethan's young daughter Anna Lee was one of those poor victims. She fell pregnant and Ethan sent her to leave Temple Gate with someone else, as he knew full well that as she was pregnant with what Noth believed to be the Antichrist, the Noth would kill her and the baby inside her. Yep, that's right, Ethan's daughter was the Jane Doe that Pauline Glick murdered in the hospital. Blake makes mention of the girl, being that's the reason why they're there in the first place, and Ethan perks up and asks Blake if she is okay. Blake knows that the girl is dead, but he can't bear to break Ethan's heart and lies to him and tells him that she is fine. Blake finally gets some rest. He has a dream that he's back in high school with Jessica again. He awakens though and he finds Ethan's home being smashed to pieces by the tall woman from before. The woman is demanding to know where Blake is, but Ethan, being the nice man that he is, doesn't give Blake up, but Ethan is killed for his troubles. Blake leaves and pushes on in search of Lynn, but also seems to be mentally unraveling. He comes across another church. Inside, he finds another man named Josiah, who has been strapped to a wheel with his eyes gouged out and the word Judas carved into his chest. Josiah begs Blake to kill him, but Noth and a few of his goons turn up, so Blake hides in the confessional booth. They drag Josiah's wife Mary into the church and torture her, as Noth is looking for Lynn too. Josiah mentions that they took Lynn into the mines. Blake starts his journey into the mines, but is chased into the tall woman's territory. Her name is Marta, and she's not happy. But let's talk about Marta for a second. Marta was kind of an enforcer for the cult, whom all the other cult members were terrified of. It seems from documents in the game that Noth knew Marta while she was growing up, and he potentially groomed her. Other documents show that she felt guilty for killing people, but Noth justified it to her. He told her that even though it was sin in the eyes of God, it basically needed to be done to protect God's plan. Blake eventually manages to escape from her, and after a swift boot to the face, he continues on to the mine. Blake's hallucinations start to occur more regularly now, becoming increasingly more disturbing in their nature, and he's being plagued by a creature of some sort, and these visions all seem to feature Jessica, the young girl whom Blake was friends with in high school. We'll get to that a bit later on. He snaps out of it, and at some point he can see the mines in the distance. Not far now, all that Blake has to do is cross
Marta's the queen of the evil white bitch? Evil white bitches?
a narrow beam in order to get there. But the inevitable happens, and it would never be that easy. A swarm of Blake says locusts, but they definitely look more like dragonflies. Well, they swarm Blake and he falls from the beam into the forest below. Turns out this is probably the worst thing that could have happened, as Blake is now in the territory of the people known as the Scald. A bit of background on the Scald. The Scald were cultists, loyal to Noth, who used to live in Temple Gate themselves, but with all the unprotected sex going on in Temple Gate, sexually transmitted diseases were rife and spread like wildfire. With a lot of the people in the village becoming afflicted with these diseases, anyone who was sick was outcast and sent to live in the mountains, becoming known as the Scald. The definition of the word Scald is being covered in lesions, bumps and sores. Everyone who was outcast has contracted syphilis. But Noth, in his infinite wisdom and connection to the Lord, told his deacon Laird, who was also afflicted, that this affliction was the result of their sins and sent him out to lead the Skald. Noth, however, kept in regular contact with Laird. Even though Noth sent Laird out to be with the Skald, Noth himself was suffering from the same affliction. Difference is that Noth was allowing himself medication to treat the syphilis, but not allowing that same luxury to his followers. He would regularly send apostles to the store in the nearest town to pick up penicillin to treat him, whilst maintaining the lie that the affliction was a result of sin. His way of controlling them, I guess. He would instead tell his followers that the drugs were merely study aids. Blake comes to and walks towards and through the Skald camp and witnesses for himself the level of suffering there. These people are extremely sick. Eventually, Blake meets Laird, sat upon his mount, Nick. See, due to the Skald believing a prophecy that they would crucify the Skald Messiah, seeing Blake's video camera and deducing that a modern-day Messiah would use a camera instead of a book, they viewed Blake as their Skald Messiah, and they do just that, nailing Blake to a cross. Blake gets free, albeit painfully, and runs after Laird, getting his camera back as it's the only evidence he has of his experience at Temple Gate. Poor Blake gets captured again and gets buried alive. Eventually, Blake manages to find a rope in order to descend and escape Skald territory, but Laird and Nick try to pull Blake's rope up with him on it. Now, the Skald didn't much like Laird and Nick, and a mutiny was rising up within the Skald. They saw their moment and pushed Laird and Nick off the edge, killing them. Blake ends up crossing a lake with a raft, a huge...
Even when you're struggling with your stamina, it is just like so smooth.
Wave engulfs him, but this is all in Blake's head.
But it's hard.
So I should probably explain the bright lights and loud noises Blake encounters throughout his ordeal.
What the fuck? I have a bruise right here.
So the first of the bright white lights is the one which took out the chopper carrying Lynn and Blake at the start of the game. Blake encountered this a few times during his journey through Temple Gate, and let me explain what this is. You recall that back in Mount Massive, Murkoff were using the morphogenic engine like this. But now it seems they've had an upgrade. They are using a very different method. A different method, but one that is just as effective. By the shore of the lake, we can find a document from a Murkoff employee mentioning a lady named Jennifer Rowland. Jennifer Rowland is a familiar name. She was a member of Murkoff's staff back in Mount Massive. In a document from Outlast, she conveyed an unwillingness to continue carrying out autopsies on inmates at the asylum and requested a transfer. And guess where she ended up? On the document on the shore mentioning Jennifer Rowland, it describes some towers which are visible in the distance and mentions subjects which of course are the citizens of Temple Gate. Now we know that the morphogenic engine's effects left people with scarring on their brains, so the same thing would have been happening here, driving people to the point of literal insanity. The document seems to mention a mysterious feedback loop which somehow makes the signals stronger the closer they got to the site being Temple Gate. It seems that short-term exposure to the signals from the towers were okay, maybe like once or twice, but anything after that, then you're starting to get into dangerous territory.
That's funny though.
The signals would give the subject hallucinations and delusions dependent on the subject's own psyche. We'll dive more into why and how it affects Blake, and why, in his hallucinations, he keeps ending up back at school. After a tense journey towards the mines, and after being chased by the heretics, Blake makes it to the mines where it appears to be raining blood. Still being hounded and harassed by the heretics, Blake finally gets to an elevator which takes him deep into the mines. He hears Lynn's voice and follows it. He is at one point on his trip through the mines knocked out by Val, who stalks him as he journeys deeper into the mines. Eventually Blake gets drugged by the heretics and Val assaults him. Lynn is tied up and is unwillingly taking part in, well, a ritual. Let's just leave it there. Blake passes out. He wakes up and sees that the cultists have now invaded the mine and attacked the heretics, probably off the back of what Josiah told them earlier on, that Lynn is in the mines. And remember, in their minds, she is carrying the Antichrist. Blake makes the most of them fighting each other, grabs Lynn, and they escape the mines. However, it seems that Lynn is now very pregnant, like about to go into labour pregnant. After walking through a violent storm and making their way through some ruins and witnessing what appears to be the sun burning, they're chased by Marta, who eventually meets her end by being impaled by a cross. How fitting. They find shelter from the storm inside the church, and Lynn is going into labour. She delivers, well, nothing, as it seems, as Blake is literally holding nothing, but sees a baby. And even Lynn goes, there's nothing there, just before she passes away from blood loss. Lynn didn't see
You saw the little thumb spot?
There's nothing there, just before she passes away from blood loss.
There's no baby.
Lynn didn't see anything because she's been deep in the mines, sheltered from the effects of the towers and the morphogenic engine. Blake, on the other hand, hasn't been so lucky. He's really been messed up by the engine, so therefore is seeing something that simply isn't there.
I did say there was.
How on earth is Lynn pregnant? Lynn was exposed to the engine at the start of the game until the point when she was captured by the heretics and taken into the mines. But to understand why and how she is pregnant, we need to visit the events of Mount Massive again. Remember I mentioned earlier about Richard Traeger and Michelle Haas?
Oh yeah, she wasn't pregnant. She was, but she wasn't. That's why she exploded with blood. It was like cancer.
That he assaulted her and she fell pregnant, and that he stabbed her and she wasn't even pregnant in the first place. Well, it turns out that the morphogenic engine was causing female employees to inhibit symptoms of phantom pregnancies. Murkoff ended up transferring all of their female workers and all female inmates to other facilities due to this, and that's why there are no females in Mount Massive at all. The same thing happened to poor Lynn. Whilst all this is happening, Noth has set out his plans for his cultists. He has led them to believe that the end is coming due to the birth of the Antichrist, that they are too late to stop it, so his followers drink cyanide in a mass suicide.
Yeah.
Noth enters the church and sees Blake sat there, and of course, because he is affected by the signals from the towers, he sees the baby too, and tells Blake to crush the baby under his foot. Noth then kills himself. Blake wanders outside, and after walking past all of the dead cultists, he drops to his knees and sees everything before him burning up. And one final bright flash of white light. Blake has seen the end of the world. Well, not quite. Whilst Blake was in the church talking with Noth, the Wall Rider, remember how it possessed a colony of ants, had arrived and crawled up onto the Murkoff towers which were emitting the signal, attacking it and destroying them. In one last hurrah, the tower let out a powerful blast, and this is the one seen by Blake at the end.
Fucking ants.
So I guess this is a good time to talk about Blake's hallucinations and the delusions that resulted in his exposure to the signals from the tower. As mentioned, Blake seemed to end up back at school for some reason, and this is all because of his psyche. He's tormented, haunted, and plagued by an incident from his childhood at school. Something terrible happened at school. Now, at the start of the game, you'll recall that Blake woke up saying another girl's name, Jessica Gray. Now, Jessica Gray, as we know, was a friend of Blake and Lynn, and they all attended school together. Jessica liked Blake, but Blake didn't really feel the same way about Jessica and instead liked Lynn. One evening after school, Blake and Jessica were walking out of school and they were approached by a priest named Father Loutermilch. Now, this was a Catholic school, so there were many priests. They were dragged into a nearby classroom and Loutermilch kept Jessica behind, as he was sexually abusing her, and Loutermilch forced Blake to leave. Poor Jessica was terrified, and as Blake was walking away, he heard Jessica scream, run off, and saw Loutermilch chasing her. Blake chased after Loutermilch and found Jessica on the stairs with a broken neck. Loutermilch had killed her, and in the aftermath had forced Blake into keeping his mouth shut, which tormented him for years. Now, throughout these hallucinations, as mentioned before, Blake seemed to be stalked by a creature with many limbs and a long tongue. This creature was in fact the embodiment of how he saw Loutermilch, a grotesque monster. We know it's Loutermilch as the creature has the same port wine stain on it.
Port wine stain.
Oh! They knocked me completely off the fucking.
Oh shit!
His face. What's interesting though is that when Blake suffers these hallucinations and records things on his camera whilst suffering these hallucinations, the video is just static, but the audio, when played backwards, features Loutermilch speaking.
You killed her. And I never told a soul. I kept your secret. Our secret. Thank you. Thank you. You never told a soul. You let the small sorrow of her suicide wash over the unacceptable tragedy of her murder.
Very creepy indeed. Anyway, after Blake saw the world end, but not really, 7 hours later, Pauline Glick and Murkoff employees turn up, but interestingly, there's no Paul Marion. Remember, the last we saw of him, it seemed his daughter had been abducted. I guess you could say that their experiment is now over, given that all the cultists are dead. Pauline Glick is concerned by the fact that someone outside Murkoff has connected the events of Mount Massive Asylum and Temple Gate and have been feeding information to Paul Marion. Now, we obviously know this to be Simon Peacock. Glick says that it was Paul Marion's job to make sure that Lynn and Blake didn't end up finding Temple Gate, but obviously due to the fact that his daughter is missing and I guess that now Paul Marion is missing, that didn't happen. I wonder who was feeding the information to Lynn and Blake. Maybe Simon Peacock, or Wayland perhaps. They come across Blake, who is completely catatonic. Glick tells the Murkoff team to send him to the nearest facility with forensic psychiatrists and orders them to dig around in his head. Knowing Murkoff, that's not good for Blake at all. Glick gets the news that Paul Marion is indeed missing, and says that with what he knows, this makes Paul Marion a very dangerous man indeed. We eventually see that Paul Marion is actually in a hospital bed telling his story to an agent, but we don't know what's going to happen after that. Now, I'm not sure where they'll take Outlast 3. Of course, they've got the Outlast trials coming out, likely in 2062 or something like that.
This was 2 years ago, so that's funny. Oh man. But yeah, now you get what's happening. Like you kind of see what I was playing and what was going on in the background of what I was doing, and how that's how the executioner got into alternate backstory. That's funny. Makes sense now, yeah. What is this? I have a notification. Oh, okay. Oh, what should we do next? We're still chilling. We're not gonna play any more Outlast tonight because I'm gonna save the practice runs for tomorrow and Thursday. Tomorrow and Wednesday, and then Thursday is Halloween, so we're gonna do the insane attempts. The actual attempts. Just crazy. Maybe we'll just call it a short stream. We gotta finish that baby kindergarten. Yeah, let me. See, the problem with me is I put these things down in places where I don't want to smell them. I found it. Yeah, practice runs. I'll be playing insane mode on. I'll be playing Outlast insane mode. Insane mode means you go back to the beginning of the game when you die. It's not nice. Last Halloween was just wrong. I am crazy. I think gaming did play Outlast at least once. Ah, light the rest of the way. Oh man, the stupid sewer pumps area is the hardest one. Well, that's not where I died. It's the hardest one to, like, calm down and get through, though. Let's see, do I have? Let me see something. Did I save last year's attempt? Because if so, we can watch a little bit of that. That's kind of funny. Tweech? Nope. Tweech? Oh man, we have it. You're smoking too? Dope, 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 dope. Okay, we got it. We gotta. Yeah, I need to try your joints, and I gotta bring a Canagar over. Really fucking good. Okay, let's see. Outlast Part 1. Is this from Halloween? Let me just double check. Properties. That was definitely a Halloween stream. I'm a liar. I'm not looking at the right one. Where the fuck? No, I saved VODs back in the day. Now I'm lame. Oh man. Did I not save the motherfucking... Hold on. Outlast. Maybe it's a Halloween folder? Crap. Now I'm sad because it was really funny. Oh wait, hold on. It might have been... No. I think you remember a little bit about it. Because you clip stuff from it. Then, yeah. See, I knew you were there. Damn, okay, well, I guess this year we're gonna have to start keeping track of it. Last year I failed. I don't remember where I failed, though. I'm thinking. Trying to remember. The weed is not helping. It was definitely after Traeger. It was after the outside. But I don't think I got to the underground area. I'm thinking... Excuse me. You were speedrunning too? Yeah, speedrunning the fuck away from them. Let me see. Clips. Let's see if I can find... Dang, you only did the one clip event. Clipshares was slacking that night. Oh man, I can't believe I didn't save. The VOD. Like, I kept all of Amnesia the Bunker. All of my first plays were on that shit. Open the fucking folder, bitch. Yeah, just one. It was the one where I was so focused and you were like, why you look like you're gonna cry? And then the steam went off and I was like, I bet that scared you. And you were like, a little. Oh man, that was funny. Yeah, that was right before Halloween. You remember that, unfortunately. That's funny. Outlast 1 speedrunish. Why the... Oh shit. Where's my ashtray? Dang. Dishonored, Dishonored 2, Ghostwire, Layers of Fear Remake, Outlast 1. Did I put in Outlast 2? No. View details. No. Wow, I'm lame. Trying to find, let me just search the whole computer for Outlast. No, desktop. Not that one. That one. Nah, you're good. You know I'm teasing. But, you're clipturous. We already know that. It's just, sometimes you're caught up in the moment and you just don't think to clip it. Other times it's too funny not to clip. Oh, excuse me. Open a new window. Where the fuck is that? Oh. Can I open a new window? Open folder location. Whatever. I'll go back if I have to. Oh, that's actual game files. You don't even know how to clip? What? What, old man? Okay, I'm good on this guy. I'm gonna let him put himself out. That was, whew. Oh, that burned. I'm gonna do a dab. We're still gonna look for that fucking Outlast stream. Some of your clips have been dying laughing. That's funny. Oh, let me see. No. Everyone has really good clips. Like everyone we hang out with has a good chunk of really good clips. That's why I like my shout out player. It showcases some. Okay, fine. We're not gonna find it. I will resign myself to it being gone forever. Here's to the fallen footage. Did I upload it to YouTube and not put it public though? I did not. Womp womp womp. Alright, let's see. The Kanaga's burned so clean too, like that white ash in the over here. That's from my Kanaga's.
It's nice.
Oh shit, I almost dropped my phone. Bong rip or dab, bong rip or dab, bong rip or dab to wrap the stream up. What do we do, guys? Both? Oh man. I can do that. I can probably do that because Clean Torch makes it less, evil. Bong rip. Exactly, the Clean Torch makes the bong rip less evil. Alright, let's clear out the dead bowl, the cached bowl. Boom. Into the garbage. Get the weed out. Oh, I need to check my Instagram. I've been tagging brands, Vent. You'd be so proud of me. Wow, it is a really cool attachment. I really enjoy it already. It's gonna take some getting used to making sure I've got a perfect seal on the bowl so that it's only pulling the hot air through, because it's not a contact thing. Well, for blunts, yeah, I'm tagging brands. I need to do a purple rose supply / stash / Clean Torch roll up type hacking video. Because I can make a Kanagar using purple rose supply stuff by grinding up weed with my stash grinder, which they're similar color scheme too. So, and then I've got my clean torch to light it all up with. What the fuck was that? Was that just a window? It sounded like boom. I'm crazy. Let's go. Got this. Oh, and I can hook up. I can hook the Canagar into this pure glass blunt tip. Tag them and put it on a Moose Laughs filter and tag them. I don't know. I'm practicing then. I'm practicing like we were talked about. Oh god. Oh, I could also technically hit up the Juicy J people because I'm using their maple syrup rolling papers. But you know, let's get my weed in my bowl. Okay, clean torch, fresh bowl, water is from this morning, good enough. Moose Labs, Halloween edition. Cheers. It tastes much better than the lighter and the hemp wick. I can actually taste the weed. But man, combustion's not my thing. Fuck, I'm so mad. I used to be the queen of bong rips. Like, you could... I'm sad. But yeah. Ooh. I'm coughing less with the clean torch. Ooh. It's dope. I highly suggest. It's an investment for sure, but if you are constantly, if you smoke, like we do, not you gaming, because you know, you work. I'm at home right now, but you light up with a lighter, that's fine. But this thing will stop you from having the butane in your lungs. Oh man. Love it. It's a stupid ass. It's just a car lighter. That's all it is. It just attaches to a vape mod. I set mine to 50. 50. Is that my doorbell? Oh my god, I'm losing my mind. You light the joint and then you inhale? Okay. You get the cherry built up first. Okay. That's good. That's the right way. With this you can, well, I mean, let me see if I can get this shit going again. I don't know. I'm really into it. It's clean. It tastes good. It's good for bong rips and stuff, and for bigger, like for the Canagars, because it's got the big opening and you just the blunt onto it. But there you go. Okay, cool. Just making sure, because we don't want that butane stain. And my torch, it can't replace my torch for dabbing. It can't replace my torch, but it'll replace my anything lighter wise that I use. Like this. Get rid of it. Well, not get rid of it. I'm gonna put it in a box. This. Put it in a box. Because I can taste the butane and shit with my bong rips. Yeah, backups. There'll be backups. Oh, well, no. I have a backup. It was a 2-pack when I bought it. The Clean Torch comes in a 2-pack. That's what the back looks like. That's what the front looks like. And this one is bigger than the one that's installed. There you go, you can see. So it's like set for bigger bowls, bigger blunts, all that happy shit. Oh, excuse me. Just got it today. Can wholeheartedly say I already like the taste much better. I will come back in a week of not using any butane, or after a week of not using butane. Unless it's for like dabbing, of course. I have to torch the dab nail. But I'm gonna come back, and I swear, my cough is gonna be way better. I'm not gonna have as much crap in my chest from smoking, cause yeah. Give me about a week. That shit. Especially since you saw that video event where I showed y'all the with my Twitch link as well. That's funny. What the heck, gaming? Oh, I'm not vaping. I'm not vaping. This is not a vape. Well, it's a vape mod, but it is a lighter. Look, it's a lighter. What the fuck? Stop vaping. But also, fuck that shit. No, I'm kidding. I keep that around just for like something to do with my hands randomly. Like when I get really, really antsy, I need something to do with my hands. If I'm designing and my hand is busy with the mouse, my right hand is busy with the mouse, my left hand has nothing to do. The keyboard actions are not very... This vape does not have any butane. This is made out of PG, VG, and flavoring. Nope. I filled this pod myself. VG, PG, natural and artificial flavoring. And I fill the pod myself. It just, the top snaps off, and you squeeze the juice in. Like the what? Don't you worry. The only vapes I have on hand are the same vapes I've been puffing on since the last time you bitched at me about vaping. Which are these, and my mushroom vapes. I have mushroom vapes. Yeah, I know. Oh, I wanted to ask you, what's that battery you use? Because I would love to look into that one. Because the airflow on that one is so nice. Gonna look into it because these ones are dying. I need a new vape pen. Gotta pick one up. So, figured I would ask you. Pulse? Okay. No, don't buy it for me. I see it. I found it. But like, it's dope. Gaming got the hookup? Yeah, right. That's, oh, you get it for like 30 bucks. Gotcha. Okay, well, I'll give you the money for it then. I will fight you. I know how much they are. I was just looking at it. But like, a good battery is honestly important to me for when I'm on the go. That's all. And then I can retire those batteries, this shitty little battery, to be hot knife batteries, like this one. get home. I've seen you. They allow you to redeem free vapes now? That's crazy. I've seen this brand before. Yeah. Okay, I get you. Yeah, gaming, how many? So many vapes. $100. Yeah, that sounds about right, actually. Carts aren't necessarily the thing. You were thinking 40 or so, though? Nah. 100 sounds about realistic. Miri, are you here? Not having a competition. I'm just curious if you are here. Do you remember how much vape stuff you sold when you were at MedMen? Back when MedMen was a thing? If you are not here, I am talking to the air, and that is okay. Oh, she here. Oh, and then it goes into the creepy music. Oh, maybe I can mess with my music maker tonight. Yeah, Miri had a laugh on that one. Ah, my elbow. Fuck. That thud was my elbow. Ow. I'm okay. Now let's do that dab. I really should just clean the reclaim out of it. Yeah, I'll do that. Get my little hamburger with my reclaim. Oh, you were the vape recommender? Ooh. There we go. We got points to redeem. Nah, you're good, you're good. I'm not getting rid of it. I put it in the hamburger. It's safe. It's safe in here. And there's also another reclaim adapter over there. Gathering reclaim. For my torture. So you were the vape kind of... Oh yeah, you liked packs. You like packs whenever you do partake. But, you won't let me get you packs. God. Okay, let's put a dab in the dab machine. Yes, just yes. You the best. Alright, we got a little bit of a saucy dab in there. Kind of see it. You keep forgetting I'm live on YouTube? Yeah. Cheers. Oh, gotcha. I don't know what I'm doing with YouTube yet. But thank you for the info. That was a good dab. It's a really nice dab. All up in the info nerding out? Yeah. Whew. All right. Well. If you look at your analytics, etc. There you go. I did the glasses thing for you, since you can't. Holy moly. People are actually watching my streams. Either watching back or watching them live or something. I don't know. This is watch time hours. 16.9. Of course I'm laughing at the 6.9. Anyway, I'm leaving. I will be back tomorrow. One day you'll bite the bullet and wear your glasses. Oh, shit. I will be back tomorrow around 5 p.m. Pacific time to play some Outlast 1, where we will be practicing insane mode. Hopefully we don't beat it, because that's supposed to be for Halloween, and then I will have to play it again on an insane for Halloween. And probably fail. But yeah. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your support. I hope you have a great morning, day, evening, afternoon, night, whatever it might be for you. Have a good one. Peace.